This is David Stevens with Finn Wealth Builders, and today is Tuesday, September 28, 2021, and this is a market update for our trades for the day. So let's get into it and see what's going on in the market. It was definitely an interesting day. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, as well as so we can continue bringing these updates to you. And let's kind of get into the market here and take a look at these charts. So looking at the Dow Jones was down 1.63%, NASDAQ down 2.83%, and S&P 500 down 2.08%, 4%. So a real big down day in the market. So we talked about this being the risk and to make sure you're watching price action. So hopefully you were doing that today and saw that we broke those support levels, and that meant coming down here. And so hopefully you were safe. You're taking profits along the way as we talk about in our videos, and hopefully you're able to at least short the market a little bit today and collect on the market. So it definitely provided a great opportunity for those bears. And you can see here on the heat map, you see pretty much overall, except for energy, pretty much overall down, and quite a pullback from what we're used to. But this was basically a retest. It came back to support. When we get the charts, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see the China BABA's up a little bit, but the rest is down, and overall the world is down. So, do we get continuation tomorrow? It all depends. If we break the current support level, we come back down to retest, and so we'll cover that one. But again, these last few days of trading have been decision days because we keep hitting support and resistance levels in that day. So you have to be really careful and make sure you're watching the price action to see which direction the market started the day out to know. And for today, you can see that we started at the high, and then we just basically came down. We tried to reclaim it, and we just weren't able to do it. And you see here with the NASDAQ that just continued to drift down. Same with the SPY. So SPY and Dow have probably more similar charts, but you see they're pretty much following the same pattern. So they've tried to recover, but failed, and they could possibly fail another day. Also notice on our scanner that the increases, we were seeing 100, 200 day percent increases, and we're just not seeing that now. So that means that scalping is the best way to deal with this market right now, unless you're short the market for a long-term bull. But I don't think you do that yet. We've been in a bull trend for a long time, but the bears are stepping in now, and we are seeing some pullbacks. We're seeing a lot of negative news out there. Now, could that last? It could, but we could turn around tomorrow. But again, it relies on us looking at the charts, looking at where the momentum's going as we start the day out to know where we're going to go and when we're going to possibly recover from this. So let's look at some more charts here just so we can get an idea. Going back here, so GoGo was our top stock for today. And it did give you an opportunity. So 12 was the open, gapped up to almost 14, and then it topped out almost at 17. So this was a nice smooth run today. It stayed right above the 5, which makes it really easy to trade. And then the exit was great because it wasn't following the rest of the market, where the market was like really choppy and difficult to trade. GoGo just gave you a nice smooth trade for the day, and then it kind of pulled back here. So it could be done. We could get another run. I'm going to watch this tomorrow at the open to see kind of what the price action is like, because we stayed above most moving averages, and this had a slight pullback here in late in the morning, and then you can see here that we had it again at the end of the day. So just something to watch for tomorrow. And then our ones that we've been tracking for a while, this is multi-day trade, KPLT. Pretty much this was a short for the day. And I'll see if this pulls back up here. A lot of times stocks will all pull back when the market pulls back, and then as soon as the market starts to recover, all the stocks continue to kind of ride up with it. So it's the only reason we're keeping this on, just to see. It is below all the moving averages, but I just want to see if the market decides to move up. Will this could come up with it. The same with AFRM. This is multi-day trade as well. You can see here, not really an opportunity day. It just kind of sold off. So didn't do any trades in these stocks that I'm showing you right now, but definitely watching them. GoGo would be the only one. So Tesla, I tried to grab some of this. It was just a scalp. And you can see here, we hit that 800 mark, which we talked about in the video last night. Saw a nice pullback to 776 and then pull down to 766. found support luckily and pull back up here. So you can see we got a nice, support line of where the stock's coming up, but this is also resistance now. So we got this nice little channel that we have created here. And so we'll see tomorrow. We see here, this is the 200. You see here that it hit the 200 3 times at the end of the day at the 777 level. So, can we, are we going to break through that? So this is where it comes into watching charts. So if the price actually moves below 777, you can see possibly a retest of this 766 level. So keep that in mind. We do have a little bit of resistance here at 774, but the major one is going to be trying to test this 766 or below. So just keep an eye on that. If we're able to maintain this and bounce off of it, then there's resistance at 784, and then we got to break through to continue back up going towards 800. The likely scenario is probably going to be down, I think, in the market than it is up, but it could be wrong. It depends what the pre-market shows, and then when we open up the first half hour. So definitely you should have a clue by the first half hour of the market, what we're going to do. AEHR, so we did have a pullback. This is multi-day trade, 1543, pulled back to 1350, but this did give you a run back up almost to 15. So AEHR, was a nice scalp day, and then we flattened out, which is great to see because that means there's a possible, additional run that we can get out of AEHR. So I'm watching that one first thing in the morning as well. See if we can get a little bit even this dip. Some people say this is cup and handle. I don't think it is. It's it did cup, but it could flatten out and just break to the downside or just stay flat for a day here or so. So just going to keep an eye on that one. UFAB, $4 is almost a peak. Pull down to almost 318. Pull back to 335. So pretty much flat. So not a lot of trading, but it is staying above the 200. So I do like that. It's above all the moving averages. So we'll see if, as the market moves around, the volatility picks up, does this give us another opportunity? Be big. So be big, nice pull down. You see here, the low is 609, the high is 666. So, did you get any of this? I watched it in case we broke up above the 50, which we did briefly, but didn't hold, and no candles closed above that. So I was out. So just watching this one for possible trades. I don't like that it's fallen below this level and it's all below the moving averages. This might come off the list, might be done. Earnings, again, Thursday's my big day, what I'm looking for as far as possible volatility moves. So we'll see what that brings come Thursday. GameStop broke below the 100, and this it's right at this 178 level. So if it breaks below that, the 178 anymore, it's probably gonna come down to 165, and the break stat is gonna be 145 or possibly around this 200. But we have a big channel, big wide channel here. If they can find support here, it could break up and try to go back up towards resistance at 225. But a lot of these stocks are showing they're at the support level, which means that any type of negative news or negative momentum in the indexes could probably bring them all down. Moderna pulled back here. It actually gapped down and actually pulled right back down to 50, which is kind of a surprise. I was expecting it to bounce off of that. I got in this trade a couple times today, and it was a dud. I wasn't capturing. It wasn't moving more than $1 sometimes when I was in there. So just not much of a movement on that Moderna. So we'll see what it can do tomorrow. I don't like that it's breaking this 50. It's sitting right on the 50. So again, tomorrow is going to be critical. Where the market opens up is going to possibly set the path for coming down lower to these 100 levels, or to be able to try to break back up and get into recovery mode. So very critical time right now. Invex went through the 50, the 100, and broke right between there and the 200. Don't like this. I see that it's done it in the past, broke the 100 and was able to rally back up. Hopefully that's the case with Invex tomorrow. But again, these the ones I call my new Teslas all had big negative days. If you shorted them, you're loving life because it gave you a nice breakdown. But if not, just watch tomorrow to see what it brings. The NTX, again, this is my triple. This is the third one. You see very similar price action. So watching for all those to give a direction, either more to the downside or the upside. The dollar's right up here on this resistance heading towards 94. If it breaks this resistance level here, it could be going to 94. So an elevated dollar probably means market's going to keep coming down more. The VIX, if you look at the VIX affects the SPY the most. You can see here that we had this big old spike up here. We had 2 days here, and then we had a pullback, which was great, down below 18, but this spiked up again. So you've seen in the past where it's done that and then just kind of fell back away. So if this doesn't, we could have a rally up here. So if this breaks above 24 again, we're going to continue to have down days. This has got to get it below 18 really to stabilize the market and help us to start to recover. So really got to watch this VIX. This is on my chart every day, and I watch it throughout the day to give me an idea of where the fear might be coming back in the market and where the pullbacks might come. So SPY, you can see SPY, big breakdown bar. We came down here. Some if you're familiar with patterns, this could be talk about this being an A, B, C pattern, but this did not quite break below this. If we have another down day, then it's going to break that, or we could bounce off of here. This, again, we talk about retracements. There's no retracement on this now breakdown bar, so it could come up here to try to fill the gap here, which I've not drawn in yet. Let me go ahead and put that in here. So we do have a gap to fill up here as well. So just something to be aware of. So we're going to try to fill the gap, or we could be breaking down below the 100. If we do that, we're coming down here probably to 428. 423 would be down below that. So we'll see. But again, when we're at these support levels, this is the critical time to watch the open and watch what happens in pre-market. Triple Qs, big gap down as well. So we got to watch this one as well. Really got to keep an eye on some of these here and make sure that we're prepared to trade them. This could very well, if this starts to go positive, it could retrace this breakdown bar. So that's what we're looking for, or a breakout of support. So again, open is going to be critical tomorrow. Semiconductors, same thing. Dow Jones, pull back again, nice breakdown bar. Seeing the same patterns across the board. So that means the market's trading together, which, if it is, and this is a new trend, it's a bear trend, that means we're headed down further and may see that 10% correction. So just keep that in mind. IWM, there's a pull down, but it's down on support, which is good. It's right on the 100. So we'll see what it does tomorrow. Again, we're sitting on support across the board a lot. So got to keep that in mind. The financials, same thing. We're on a support level. Gold, it's above this support level, but you can see we've kind of downtrended through this whole channel. We've been through it before and then bounced off. That's what we're looking for. See if we can get some support here and bounce off here. But gold's very weak right now. Silver is very flat. You see here it's trying, but very flat, which is good. At least it's holding support level. It hasn't broken that. So that means we can hopefully get momentum to drive it back up north. Bitcoin continues to pull back. So you see here, this little tail candle came down here and touched right around 40,000. That's what I just, based on the action I'm seeing, that's where I assume that we possibly could retest again, is that 40,000 mark as well, and then bounce off of that. And so it just kind of depends on what we're doing here as far as, do we break this support line and come down to the 50 or below? It's a possibility. We got the lines drawn in already, just in case we do, just so we know where our support and resistance levels are. So looking for tomorrow, see if we come down here. Since we've already touched down here, we could retest that and see if we can hold that 40,000 level, or we could break up. But just got to watch where we're headed. But right now we're headed down. Same thing goes for Ethereum, right in track with everybody else, and XRP, same thing. But we do have the support levels drawn out. Going to watch those support levels. We know where our resistance is, and we're kind of sitting right in the middle of a lot of these. So something to pay attention to, and just watch the price action so you know which side of the trade to be on, whether it's the bears or the bulls. So tomorrow's another critical day. So pay attention, make sure you lock profits along the way. I'm not seeing, when I see a continuation play, I'm taking profits quicker, instead and letting very little ride out, maybe 10% or maybe 25% the most. on a trade because I'm not seeing the follow through. And when I don't see the follow through, that means I'm more going to that scalping mode where I just grab little pieces and chunks rather than trying to let it ride and see if I can get big upswings or downswings. So just keep that in mind as you're trading. Everybody have a great night. Trade safe tomorrow. If you're not comfortable trading in a volatile market, just stay out and watch and learn so that you keep your capital preserved. And everybody have a great night and safe trading tomorrow.